As I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, you have this really positive mindset. You have this really incredible ability to find the good even in challenging times. What's been one of the biggest failures in your life, or, something that's gone wrong that maybe in business or in another field that you learned a lot from, or you took a lot of insight from?
I would say one of the regrets I have is, when I came back and I got married and I had kids, is I missed their childhood because I was working so hard. Back then I had PTSD so bad I had a flash temper. So it was probably some ways, the hard thing is, it's a good thing that I wasn't around. But I have a great relationship with all three of them now. I love them dearly, and I look forward to treasure our time together.
That's incredible. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's interesting to hear about your experience, that you weren't there, but you're saying it was actually good I wasn't there because I had PTSD and I was dealing with that. And I've heard in your journey you talk about how psychedelics were like a huge part of your coming home.
100%,
and
yeah.
Could you walk us through how you got introduced to that and how you were open to that?
In 2018, I read Michael Pollan's book, How to Change Your Mind. I went through it like a bag of peanuts. And I just told my wife, Renee, who is the love of my life, I never did psychedelics before in my life, never did them, anything like that. But I said to her, if this can do it for me, I want to try them. And I got to the point, Jay, where somebody could come up to me and say, like I'm at the golf course and say, you were in Vietnam, weren't you? I start crying. Yeah, it gets worse, So she had me hooked up in 2 weeks with two individuals that, again, would see me in Hawaii. And on the first day, I did ayahuasca. And it's guided, a lot of talk. And the therapy that does the healing, psychedelics make it possible because they make you receptive and they make you willing to change. So on the first day, it was ayahuasca. On the second day, it was magic mushrooms, psilocybin, and a little interesting aside. When the guide made a teapot, and he says, I made this teapot holds 3 cups, and I made them strong, so you'll only need one. I drank all 3 cups and I ate the tea bags. Honest engine. Oh man, I was sailing. And then, then a lot. And then on the third day, I took a break. And on the 4th day, it was LSD. And afterwards, I was a different guy. I was totally a different guy. The people that worked with me were like, what happened to him? He's so nice. He doesn't have a temper. He's not that intense, scary dude anymore. My son told his wife, he said, man, I'm worried my dad's going to die soon. And she goes, why? And he goes, well, I think he found out he's going to die soon because he keeps calling and he's so nice and so forth.
Oh,
and it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
And of course, Renee, my wife, noticed it instantly. And the best way I can describe it is, after being treated with psychedelics, it had been 49 years since the war, I finally came home.
That's unbelievable. Do you feel that you went back to being who you were before the war?
Exactly, enriched by everything I learned since. And, I still had the memories of the war. There's times when, when I talk about it, I choke up and so forth, but I'm not debilitated by it anymore. But it's still very much there.
Of course. Yeah. It sounds like that you've kept the parts that have made you who you are and left the parts that defined who it forced you to be. If that feels right.
Yeah, for sure.